we want to educate them and give them rich auto instrumentation, but then also make it really easy for them to start asking the questions they care about with the custom instrumentation. I'm Winston, a product manager here at Honeycomb, and today I'm talking to Hazel Weekly, who is an SRE, a web developer, an all-around observability expert, and currently a principal architect.
So I have a question for you, and this is more
Yeah,
of a technical question. This question is several years ago, back when observability and OpenTelemetry was really getting started, I don't think anybody else didn't expect auto instrumentation to become so big and pervasive in the backend. And now it feels like rather than manually instrumenting things, people almost prefer to just rely on auto instrumentation, particularly in the backend. But in the front end, you can't do that the same way because you have so many payload concerns and code base size concerns, and you have this internet traffic concern. You can't send everything or even a lot, and you can't filter when you're done. Like you, you don't have any of the tools that the backend has grown to rely on, and that the backend ecosystem has grown around. So how do you reconcile that?
it's such a good question, and there's so many different ways I want to answer, to be honest. But to start with, just on that question of auto instrumentation, why people lean on it, I think that there is there's so much value in rich auto instrumentation because if you're coming from a world where you had limited data and you're not used to kind of the high cardinality, high dimensionality data of observability and open telemetry, you struggle to even imagine what you should add. So rich auto instrumentation, from my perspective, really helps like kind of educate you on what's possible in this new world of observability. But on the web, we do have this constraint of everything has to be downloaded by users over the wire for each individual session. And so we really want to be cognizant of how we minimize the data, and especially for instrumentation, like if the bulk of what we should be sending is the actual app and the usable stuff for the user, instrumentation should be kept minimal. So from our perspective, we're trying to think about that in a bunch of different ways. One, my team sit on the client side SIG for open telemetry. We try to really contribute there, and we're working to help like reduce bundle size and minimize it as much as we can. We actually shipped some or opened some PRs recently that we're hoping to push upstream towards that end. But a bigger question to me is just that, like, if we're engaging with a bunch of developers who've not had the joy of observability and the ability to ask all these rich questions, um, we want to educate them and give them rich auto instrumentation, but then also make it really easy for them to start asking the questions they care about with the custom instrumentation. So from my perspective, I think the evolution should be eventually like use case oriented. Auto instrumentation shouldn't be just generic on the front end. It should at least have some shapes or some ideas that, like, if you are an e-com company and you really care about search performance and thus core web vitals, maybe that is the type of auto instrumentation you reach for, and it can be lightly tailored and like the bundle can be the right size. But if you're, some sort of SaaS business and you are dealing with long running sessions and the pages aren't search indexed, your concerns are going to be different. And so we can, as an open telemetry community, start working with those types of users to understand what problems they have. Is it more about tracking underlying APIs? Is it more about user interactions? And we can start tailoring auto instrumentation. So I think that's probably where the front end will go, is that there won't be a generic browser auto instrumentation, but we will disambiguate just a tiny bit to try to help people grab the right package so that they get both the education of how much data is available, but also a kind of tailored package that doesn't bloat their app and collect a bunch of data that is not really going to help them to meet their business goals and build user experiences that are delightful.
I can't agree enough with that, especially with the front end. That payload size is so important, and that user experience is paramount.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Hazel. That's all the time we have. It has been a joy to talk to you. I can't wait to speak again.
Thanks once then. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and I can't wait for next time.